Do you think depression is just being sad? Well, you're half right. It's actually so much more than that, though. Depression is a chemical imbalance in the brain. It's biological. You can't just get over it. America has this weird perception of depression that somehow it's just someone being too sad and they're not thinking pleasant thoughts. This way of viewing depression is more harmful than it is good. It's not good at all, but it's harmful. The fact that we see depression as something that someone should just get over causes so much stigma. The misconceptions cause people to not really understand how depression works and how it can be treated and how it needs to be treated. Today I'm going to talk to you about the myths that come with depression and come with the belief of depression, why and how we should totally reframe the way we see depression. These misconceptions are wrong. And last, I'm going to tell you the benefits of why it's good to reframe the way you think of depression. Mind over matter. You hear people say that all the time, but depression isn't just not thinking pleasant thoughts. According to Harvard Health publications, depression is a very complex disease. It's actually multiple factors of things, including a predisposed genetic probability, stressful events in life, faulty mood regulations in the brain, and different types of medication, and medical issues. Now, any variation of these can cause depression in somebody. And according to the Health Promotion Board, there are many myths surrounding depression. For example, people think it's temporary and that it'll go away on its own. The fact is it won't. Depression is a medical condition that requires treatment and support. In fact, the symptoms of depression are likely to get worse if untreated. Too many people believe it's weakness and that you just need to think happy thoughts. This misconception causes people struggling with this issue to believe they are weak. Therefore, they're not getting the help that they need. It's just a vicious cycle. Next, I'm going to tell you about the misconceptions of depression. You need to understand what depression really is. According to the American Psychology Association, depression is more than just feeling sad. In fact, people with depression experience significant weight loss or weight gain. They lack interest. They lose pleasure in normal activities. They feel groggy. They feel gross. They have no energy to do what they need to do. They sleep too much, or they don't sleep enough and they have insomnia. They feel worthless or really guilty, and they even have thoughts of suicide. That's totally more than just feeling sad. We need to realize how much depression actually affects someone's personal life, and the lives around them. According to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, 25 million Americans suffer from depression. And according to Suicide Awareness Voices of Education, 90% of the people who commit suicide have pre-existing mental illnesses, i.e., depression. Now, the benefits behind depression, or behind looking and reframing depression as a whole, are really important. If we can somehow reframe the way that we think of depression, we can reap the benefits of helping people with mental disorders. According to the Changing Perceptions of Depression, an article, this is a quote, there have been changes in attitudes about the causes and treatments of depression among the American public in the past decades. Good. With a shift toward a biological framework. A greater understanding of beliefs about depression may lead to more effective outreach and education efforts. We need to educate people about depression. People need to understand it so they can help it, so we can reap the benefits of helping people. Understanding and reframing the idea of depression will help our society in general. According to the Psychological Science Organization, having these misconceptions lead to complete discrimination. Did you know that people with mental disorders are excluded from educational opportunities, social opportunities, and even educational opportunities? And in a medical situation, they aren't fully attended to. They don't get as much help as people who don't suffer from a mental disorder. If we reframe it, we can help save lives. And that's really important. For us as human beings, we need to understand to save lives. There are benefits on a personal level too. As individuals, if we look at mental illness as a different than just being weak, we see it as a mental disorder, something that needs to be treated, we might actually sympathize and empathize with our loved ones, with people we care about. If we don't understand it, how can we really truly care? If you love your loved ones, I really hope you care enough to help them. So what do you think depression is? Do you still think it's someone who just needs to get over it? I really hope you don't see it that way anymore. Because the fact of the matter is, depression is a chemical imbalance in the brain. It's a biological issue, and it needs to be treated. People need to understand mental disorders. We as a nation and as individuals need to realize there are serious problems with the way we view mental disorders in this country. We all need to realize there are solutions and that we can change the way that we think about it if we just educate ourselves and really understand how depression works. And once we fix the overall viewpoint of depression, we'll be able to benefit from it. Benefit from the reframing. We'll be able to help. We can save lives. It's ridiculous that 90% of people suffering from depression, 90% of people who kill themselves are suffering from depression. That's terrible. Depression is treatable. They shouldn't be killing themselves. It's okay, it's okay if it happens. You're not weak. But let's try and help them. I don't want that to be the last chance. So, I hope from hearing this speech today, you guys have learned a lot, and I hope I've persuaded you to reframe the way that you see this depression, to think of mental disorders in a different way, in a different light. Because who knows? You may just save a life.